So, good morning, Mr. Remegio.
Good morning.
Thank you very much for joining me in this interview.
Thank you also.
And regarding the project Toward a Lifelong Learning ASEAN Agenda, I have some questions to ask. The
Okay.
first question is about the policy of lifelong learning in your country. Is there an established policy for lifelong learning in Timor-Leste?
Okay. In Timor-Leste, there is no actually per se an established policy for lifelong learning. However, within the legal framework, such as the constitution of the country, it envisions that the citizens of the country should have continuous learning and access to education to become a better citizen to contribute to the development of the country. And there are also other policies, particularly the education policy, national policy, that express that citizens are actually provided opportunities for continuous learning to become more productive and to be able to contribute to the development of the nation. So, to answer the question, at the moment, the country doesn't have really a specific policy on lifelong learning, but I think there is a desire to eventually develop this specific policy in relation to sustainable development goals.
So, in the future, Timor-Leste will try to establish a full and complete policy.
Yes, because I think the initiative that we are doing right now with regards to lifelong learning, um, as I see in the country, there are already like programs or initiatives that are being done in relation to lifelong learning. But I think the country in the near future should define what is really its policy, at the same time its definition of lifelong learning in the context of the country.
And the second question is, what are some challenges to implementing lifelong learning in your country, and how did you deal with those problems?
I think there are quite a number of challenges that the country is facing right now with regards to lifelong learning initiatives. For one, we know that Timor-Leste has just restored its independence, so basically the country is very new. It has started its in development when it restored its independence in 2002. So basically, it's like a 14-year-old country. And with regards to education and lifelong learning, I think the challenges that I see in the country right now, first, as I've said, we need to develop actually our own definition of lifelong learning. Though, if we take a look, lifelong learning is taking place in the country right now in its education system. But one thing for sure, it needs to define what is really lifelong learning in the context of the country. The other thing is, as a new country, some of the initiatives being done right now are basically new. So I think one of the key things here is particularly people who are engaged in development work, particularly education, should be exposed in initiatives like lifelong learning within the region as well. And maybe the other challenge is for government, including other stakeholders, to really look into what is its vision with regards to making its citizens become more productive, to become more good and better persons to be able to contribute to the development of the country. So I think the key challenge right now is actually to define its understanding of the lifelong learning. Second is to actually develop specific policies in terms of
pursuing lifelong learning initiatives and programs. And then the second one is actually to advocate to be able to really develop concrete programs and projects to pursue lifelong learning initiatives in the country. So those are the challenges that I see right now in Timor-Leste.
Well, thank you very much for joining me with this interview. This very valuable information. Thank you.